In this screencast, you will see 3 procedures for helping format an algebra test. The first procedure is going to be using a table to format the questions. The second procedure will be using equation editor to format the individual questions. And the third procedure will be using text boxes to format graphics to enhance your test. The first thing you're going to need to do is open up a blank Word document. Format the headings to your preferences and add the directions. The first section of my test will contain 4 questions, so I want to create and format a table for these questions. Putting them in a table will allow me to keep the formatting of each question the same. It will allow me to save space on the page, and it just looks better. To insert a table, you're going to first go to the Insert ribbon and click on Table. A drop-down menu will come up that allows you to customize your table. For this part, I'm going to use a 4x2 table so that I have a cell for each question as well as for each answer blank. Once I have the table entered, I'm going to number my questions. And personally, I like to make my numbers bold to help them stand out a little. Now I'm ready to put my test questions in. Since this is a math test, there's often specialized formatting for the numbers and equations to make them look correct and be in a format that's familiar to students. So to access the equation editor, I'm going to hit the Alt and plus key at the same time. A blue pop-up window will come up that says Type Equation Here. This is called Equation Editor. In this, you have all kinds of different symbols that you can use, from basic math symbols, Greek letters, arrows, opposite of operators, geometry, as well as several given examples, fractions, and other mathematical operators that you might be needing. Once you look through that a little, you can make sure that you're in your text box and start typing your question. Don't forget to enter equation editor for each new spot. This question, I need to use an exponent. So to do that, I'm going to type in my variable, use the caret key and the exponent I need, and hit space. And you'll notice that the exponent automatically goes to the top. I'm going to use that same exponent again here. And now I have my equations in. At this point, I can start formatting my table to get the appearance I prefer. First of all, I'm going to make each cell taller. You can do this several ways. You can highlight the entire table, go to your Table Tools and Layout ribbon and change your height manually. You can also move your mouse until you get this double-headed arrow and drag up and down. The way that I generally do it is just to go to the first line and hit enter. This automatically moves my equation down to the next line or down to the bottom of the cell. And then when I'm in the bottom cells, I like to go an extra blank line. Now I'm going to highlight the entire table by clicking on this 4-headed arrow at the top left of the table. And I want all of my borders to go away. So to do that, I'm going to the Home key and my borders to choose No Borders. Then I want where my answer blanks will be, I'm going to add in a bottom border and horizontal border, which allows me to have a blank line for students to write their answer on. Finally, I'm going to add a horizontal line to the bottom of this section to make it separate from the other sections. So to do this, I want to make sure I'm clicked off of my table, go back up to borders, and go down to horizontal line. And you'll see that it's inserted a horizontal line. The second section of my test, I need to include graphics. Students will be given a figure with dimensions that they need to find the area of. Again, I'm going to insert a table. This time I'm going to do a 2x2 table, and I'm going to put my numbers in. And now, because I want a lot of space in here to insert a graphic, but I don't know my exact dimensions, I'm going to just drag my line down and make my cell bigger. At this point, I want to enter in my shape. It's going to be a rectangle, so I go to the Insert ribbon, the Shapes drop-down menu, and find my rectangle, and draw it in. I don't like the solid blue shape, so I will change my fill as well as my outline. It's not to white, black outline, and I want it to be not quite as heavy. Okay. So now that I have my rectangle in there, I need to add my dimensions. To do this, I'm going to use text boxes. So I'm going to the Insert ribbon, and then click the drop-down menu under Text Box. And I'm going to go Draw Text Box. And text boxes you can also use Equation Editor in. So here's my first dimension. And I don't want the actual box around my text box, so I can go back into Format, change my fill, and my outline. And now I'm going to see just the letters or numbers, and oops, make sure I have no fill on here, and move it into place. Now I'm going to create a second text box the same way for my other dimension. And again, I need to change my fill and my outline. And I can move this one into place now. At this point, I've added a graphic, which is just a simple rectangle shape, and I've used Equation Editor within text boxes to get the formatting that I want. Now I can go through and add my next shape. In this one, I'm going to use a triangle. Change my fill, go back to my black outline with a lighter weight, and I can again use text boxes to enter in my dimensions. So this tutorial has shown you how to use tables to format your test so that you have answer blanks as well as questions. It has shown you how to use Equation Editor and to add graphics and format those using text boxes. I hope you'll be able to put this to work sometime for you. Thank you.